Into some current events that's the byproduct of a historical narrative that was given to us. But first, I want to discuss a post that I did where a gentleman was saying that the Aztecs, the Incas, and the Mayas didn't leave pictures of us because we don't have afros in the hieroglyphs. But he failed to recognize that even if your hair is this kind of wool, when it get to a certain length, we start locking our hairs up. They got them people believing that those locks is braids because they don't know who they is. They over here and look. These people came over here as the servants of the Dirty Moors. If you don't know who they was fighting wars with, you don't know who they brought as their servants. These was them villages, them slave villages, labor camps in Europe that they brought these people from. And it don't matter. We got the same phenotype, but we don't have the same genotype. Physiologically, we look similar, but at the core of who we are, we different people by nature. And that's because the nature that we emerged from is the nature of what y'all call today the Americas. Then you got the Dirty Moors, who the same bad as them people that paid $5 to get on the Dawes Road, that looked like they was driven straight from the tundra of the Siberian Peninsula in the wintertime. Pale motherfuckers. We don't have a problem with any other nations of the earth. This is what people keep failing to realize. We not mad at none of them motherfuckers that got did the same way we got done. Our problem is they got a problem with us telling everybody who we are. And we know who we are because we still behave the same way we did 26, 27, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70,000, 100,000 years ago. We got the same culture. The culture has not changed. The only thing changed is the narrative given by invaders. And so if we want to follow the invaders' narrative, then all you stringy hair motherfucker $5 wannabe pretendians, you motherfuckers is conquistadors. Y'all Spaniards, according to them. Y'all not us. But you want to come on my page to try to tell me who I am, and my whole bloodline emerged from the Mississippi red clay dirt. My whole historical family record as the motherfucking root tribe of the land. The first tribe of the earth tribes is the Americas. I done told you people, the ones of y'all that want to keep coming over here, I'm not bothering y'all. Why do y'all feel that y'all have the right to come over here and tell me I don't know who I am while I'm telling my people who we are? And I'm not telling them with speculation. I'm telling them with the facts. Right? We organic aboriginals to this land. All you other motherfuckers is Johnny-come-latelys. Now, we don't have to get into no gangster shit about the historical narrative that they keep coming to my page pushing. They can keep coming pushing that bullshit, and then they're going to make Rod Hayes come all the way out on another bag. So, with that being said, let's move to current events. We all sitting here watching as the place that they now call Israel is bombing the people that they call Palestinians. So for the historical record, this is recorded in your Bible as the Canaanite slaughter of the Philistines, in which they came to recruit the help of the children of Jacob in a war against the Canaanites, the Philistines. This is the same shit. They just replaying it out. This is also in Morals and Dogma, Albert Pike, to foment the Third World War, that they had to start some BS in what we call today the Middle East. How is it the Middle East? Make it make sense. You got north, south, east, and west. Where on the compass do we find Middle East? It ain't nowhere on the compass. The yoni of the earth is in South Africa. The navel of the earth is in what we call Mecca, right? But the pituitary gland is what we call the Valley of the Kings in America. And then now y'all want to come because y'all feel some kind of way about us asserting our jurisdictional supremacy on the land. It ain't nothing y'all can do about it. You can come on Rod Hayes' page. You can complain and vex all of your grievances, but we know everything going on the land because we from the land and the land talk to us. I can't even call them wolf in sheep's clothing. They more like a sooner hound in sheep's clothing. Piece of crap. See, they trying to get me to show my gorilla colors. My chief said, Rod, we brain banging, we not gang banging. But lo and behold, I will jump out on the bag on some brain bang gorilla, beat my chest, tell you motherfuckers what it is, whether you like it or you don't like it, does not matter to me. That's not my concern. If you over here in the Americas and you saying that we ain't from here, then explain to me the process by which your ancestors, your elders, your tribal leaders that was conquered, since it wasn't us, what's the process? What's y'all redemption process according to the tribal traditions to restore the tribes back to the preeminent jurisdictional supremacy over the land, the air, and the water to be enforcers, caregivers of the great law in honoring of the divine great mother? If you don't know that, shut your ass up and sit down before I make change out of your $2.50 ass, because you're not even a whole $5 Indian. Now, in the history books in World War I, the war was being fought primarily in Europe. There's two factions in Europe at war, and then there's a neutral party. We know the neutral party is Switzerland. And we know now, by following the money, all roads lead to Rome, but to take a real deep pit stop in Switzerland. Because the central banking system, the what we call the World Bank, is stationed in Switzerland. The International Monetary Fund is stationed in Switzerland. Right? The IRS over here, when you pay your so-called taxes, they don't send the check to DC. They send it to either IMF or World Bank. We already track the money. Wall Street has been caught money laundering and human traffic in excess of $1 trillion. They've been caught money laundering in the drug market. Now that's going to come back up. Remember this. Wall Street got caught laundering drug money in excess of $1 trillion. So they got human capital and then they got drug capital. But that's not all. Right? Wall Street has also been caught what they call insider trading and phantom trading of false stocks. And all of this is in excess of $1 trillion. So we are like $3-4 trillion in now just with the Wall Street. We haven't even gotten into something called the International Stock Index Exchange, right? And this is where all of the local community stocks of each corporation called a country or a nation, where all you national motherfuckers is from. They all have to pay money in order to function under the jurisdictional authority under the Vatican and the Crown of England. Remember, it's a 3-city state empire: DC, London, and the Vatican City. And all of the banking is done with the Khazarians. The Khazarians is mulatto hybrid so-called Jews, the descendants of the dirty Moors and their concubines from Europe, right? But we ain't supposed to know this. We don't even supposed to know Prussia was a whole nother functioning system between the fall of Rome and the rise of Russia. We supposed to not know about the czars that came to give aid, service, and assistance to the tribes of the land. They knew who they was coming to give aid and assistance to when they came over here. They want us to think all of the czars was the villains. But when the tribes was fighting the crown of England, the crown of France, the crown of Spain, with their under kings, your Dutch, Portuguese, and your Ottoman Ali's and all of these, while we was fighting them, the only people that offered aid and assistance in our time of peril was the country that we now call Russia. Don't believe Rod Hayes. Go do some research. Get off your lazy ass. Stop waiting on me to give you all the receipts and Google your motherfucking friend. Ask AI. Go to your AI, your Bard GPT, type in Russia's involvement in early colonial America. You don't got to believe me. So you don't have to come over here. Shout out to Kareem Wahua. He the one. That's my dude. He dropped his whole YouTube is receipts. All of the stuff that I'm saying, the receipts is right there. I didn't drop so many receipts right now that I don't even go back and review the receipt no more. I brought the receipt, reviewed the receipt, produced the receipt. I went back over the receipt, not once, but numerous times. I'm done with that. I'm done with that. If you want to know where the receipt is, put your shit in reverse, go back and watch my old shit, and you'll see me dropping the receipts. Hey, Ro. So, here we is in 2024. Israel was established 3 years after the UN. The UN was established at the conclusion of World War II in 1945. 1948, the first act of only then the United Nations consisted of France, England, and the United States. So all them other UN countries that's in there now had nothing to do with the first act of war of the United Nations as an entity. The first act of war was to invade what we called then the West Bank and Palestine, which was actually northeast Egypt. But they don't tell you that, and you don't do the research, and you don't know how to read, and you think you know how to read because you know how to regurgitate the stuff that your scholars told you. All they doing is controlling the narrative. Fuck your narrative. I don't want to control the narrative. I'm just going to tell it like it is, and then I'm going to let people make up their own mind whether they choose to believe me or not believe me. That don't matter to me. I'm past trying to convince motherfuckers of shit. I'm not trying to convince nobody. I'm systematically taking the required steps that these Mississippi clay dirt walking organic aborigines to the land laid down for me to follow. So if any one of you $2.50 ass Indians, you 75-cent Indians, $5 minus a penny Indians, I don't matter which one of y'all it is, whether you are African American or African living in America, or whether you from Russia, from Jamaica, well not Jamaica, they us, whether you from Russia, Portugal, Spain, France, Denmark, China, Japan, any of that shit. If you over here telling the people whose shit this is that it's not their shit, you need to shut up and sit your ass down, because when I get done getting enough of us awakened, you're not going to be able to turn off these youngsters. They gonna be coming for blood because y'all created the condition where they had to be born into a world of misery and suffering. Because y'all came over here and interrupt our solitude and our peace. It's ain't up to me. I'm just a motherfucker ringing the alarm, setting it off, telling them don't bleed the hype. We was here before they came, and we gonna be here when they leave. The left a message, and they said this: America will come, and America will go, and we will still be here. If you don't know who the is, if you don't know who the Anasi is, then I can't help you. I can't help you. But all of the ones that know that Rod Hayes know what he talking about, them ones, and all of the ones that's organic aboriginals to the land, I don't even say indigenous because that's been usurped. Everything's been usurped. I can't even really have a civil conversation with nobody because the civics is all wrong. So now I got to have hostile, belligerent conversations in order to properly exchange information, being politically incorrect in a politically incorrect society where everybody is telling me because I'm using the F-bombs all the time that I can't know what I'm talking about. Bullshit. I know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not guessing and I'm not making it up. All of the elders before me said the same thing. We was already here. I didn't just pull just because my parents and my grandparents know we from here, I don't have to only rely on them because there's over 5,000 tribes in this together. Remember, it was only so-called 5 civilized tribes holding on to the bear till we figure out how to get this motherfucker's pelt off of him so we can make a blanket for Big Mama. Somebody had to hold them suckers. So now that they didn't been held long enough for me to give a critical analysis of the invasion, the warfare, the ceasefire, the sorcery that followed, the usurpation, the invasion, the undermining and the usurping. Why do they want us to believe we from Africa so bad? I'm going to tell you why. As long as you don't know where you from, you got no right to no land nowhere. You have no land rights. Your land rights come through your birthright, through your mama line. So if you don't know the process, you ain't from here. It's called the redemption process. I'm the family redeemer. The set of skills that I developed over the years, every tribal chief on the land, whether I like them or not, can call upon me to utilize my skill set if it's going to benefit their clan and the rest of the clans. I just can't take sides in ABS, but I can bust some bullshit upside the head. Right? So while I'm busting it upside the head, y'all need to know what's going on, and y'all sitting here, our people is waking up at an alarming rate. Thanks to brothers like Dane Callaways and Kareem Ahu, right? Like Brother Top Cat, right? Elders like Taj Tariq Bey, like Hakeem Bey. Been telling y'all the whole time, but you only hear what you want to hear. You only hear what you want to hear because if you ain't going with the narrative, you feel like somebody is pulling the wool over your eye. The wool already over your eye, motherfucker. We trying to pull it off. We trying to lift the veil from your illusion. But you want to stay trapped in the illusion so bad that you're willing to put your life on the line for misinformation, false information, and misdirection. Yep. Another thing before I start getting into my Israeli thing, brother named what's his name? I forgot his name, but he the most uncritical critical thinker I ever ran across. Did a video the other day, and he's talking about because we telling people of the false accusations against Malachi York, that means if you knew the law, you would know the reason the judge refused to accept Malachi's guilty plea. Go back and pull up Big Beach explaining that sometime, I'm gonna post the video later. You know I'm going to bring the receipt. Sometime you have to take a plea, even if you're not guilty, in order to regroup and stand a fighting chance. They was torturing Malachi and telling him that they was torturing the sisters. His name gonna pop in my head in a minute. He one of them flat earthers. And he really, his math be all fucked up. But he swear he be right. Anyway, so with the Malachi case, this man is being subject to government-sanctioned torture tactics normally used to extract information from suspected espionage agents captured by the FBI, CIA, or military intelligence. Brother Sanchez, he the one. He the one. He don't realize that because you are against false allegations and because you against the false convictions and because you've deconstructed the whole fallacy, then all of a sudden now you want to go with what the man say. You want to believe the white man lies. And look, I don't care what they say. I'm still going to follow the process. I'm still going to sing the truth from the mountaintop. Yeah, Prodigy wrote it in his letter from jail. And he said, remember, in that same letter, he said Jay-Z and Jazzo know. Right? Then he pointed out the fact that Jay-Z and Jazzo was repping Malachi. Then all of a sudden, now they want to distance themselves from the brother that's struggling. See, they got this thing in our community. I don't know where we get it from, but I know it ain't from us. When a righteous man fall, we don't fucking fight. We don't say nothing. We go shut the fuck up and sit in the corner. Yeah, that explains a lot. If he was in the military, he's thoroughly indoctrinated by the military camp. Right? I'm from the block. Thoroughly educated on my own with no aid of the university and no aid of the military. They can't control me. Then you got motherfuckers calling me an agent. Yep. You can call me an agent all you want. It still ain't gonna stop the fact that the people that's calling me agents is the agent. Trying to make people look at me in some funny kind of way. I'm not finna fall for none of the banana in the tailpipes that y'all fell for. Go on and sign your 360 record deal so they can flip you 360 and go ask a hooker what is the 360 on the streets. And she gonna tell you what a 360 is, and then your mouth gonna drop. Right? Then your mouth gonna drop. So, look, all of these celebrities, I don't give two shits about a celebrity. I don't care nothing about no celebrity gossip, celebrity drama. All I know is we got chiefs in the entertainment industry flipping us codes to tell us who doing the dirt behind the scenes. But we so busy following the trendy gossip that we can't find the message that they told us. So, since Rod Hayes don't know what he talking about, I guess Ice Cube don't know what he talking about. I guess Raekwon, the chief, the chef, don't know what we talking about. I guess ODB don't know what he talking about. I guess LL Cool J don't know what he talking about. Flavor Flav don't know what he talking about. Tupac, he don't know what he talking about. Nas don't know what he talking about. All these brothers is from over here. They ancestral bloodlines from over here. Kevin Gates, Big L, all of them know we from over here. But all of a sudden now, all of these no thinking, box living, they live in a box. And because I don't fit in their boxes, they just assume that I ought to go along to get along with their bullshit. I ain't with it. I'm not with it. I'm not part of it. I'm not party to it. And as a matter of fact, I'm belligerent to it. I'm against it. I'm the antithesis of your thesis. I am the antagonist to your story. I am the one who you didn't want to say was going to come tell these motherfuckers we was already here, because that's what I was given the responsibility to do. right? George Clinton, he said he from over here. Don King said he one of us from over here. Bill Cosby, go, the Jacksons, they Choctaw. But we don't want to acknowledge none of them. We only want to acknowledge the one that's written up in the Dawes Roll. And they come with this fake ass DNA shit that tests less than 1% of the DNA, and they can't tell you what tribe you from Africa, but they can say you from Africa. What's my tribe if I'm from Africa? I had a post the other day. I put up, the brother say he was talking to this black law student. He said, name me 5 ethnic groups brought from Africa to America. They couldn't name one. He said, name me 5 ethnic groups brought from Europe. He said half of them can name 20. This ought to tell you something. This ought to tell you something. Then, yeah, Lionel Richie, the list is long. I can't even name them all. Quincy Jones, Cindy Poitier, all of these people is organic to the Americas, right? Then Henry Louis Gates, one of the founders of 21andMe or some shit, whatever the hell his name is, he told you when he told you about Oprah being Zulu, they was making it up as they go, but we supposed to just go along to get along with the narrative the enemy told us to follow. That's a dead-end search for people that never existed. There has never in the history of the world been a tribe called niggers. There has never in the history of the world been a tribe or clan called Afro-Americans, African Americans. None of these tribes don't exist, right? But the Slavs can tell you they Slavic, right? The Russians can tell you they Russians. But when we tell you we was already here, organic, native to the land, Mississippi, clay, dirt, walking, then all of a sudden we don't know what we talking about. When our uncles is having powwows, right? Strategy meetings to overcome the enemy and how we going to teach these children to overcome the obstacle. And now let's go back and activate this plan. Go drop a seed in one of these babies' ears and he's going to figure it out. Look, Henry Louis Gates said he was sitting there watching the news. His partner was in the laboratory putting together Oprah's DNA genetic profile. Henry Louis, it's on my page. If you scroll down, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Henry Louis Gates he said, did you see the news? So his partner was like, no, I ain't seen the news. What's going on? He said, Oprah, she just said she was Zulu. He said, I ain't done with her blood work yet. He said, what do you want to do about it? I said, hell, we making it up as we go anyway. Might as well make her Zulu. Right? All this in our face. Look, Smokey Robinson is a Hyoka High chief. Little Richard is Chief Screaming Hawk. He didn't name himself that. Right? Chuck Berry. All of these people is natives to this land. James Brown from the Browns clan. Those old Cleveland Indians that was named that by invaders. And then when they realized that the face of the Indian, the Cleveland Indian, was darker than the $5 Indians, they had to get that shit off these helmets before they started putting shit together. We got to change the mascots of all of them Mississippi clay dirt red skin nappy haired Negroes. We got to change all of the mascots so we can conceal that. Go look at the early mascots of the American Baseball League, the NFL, right? All of these, they had the mascots that look like us, but you think that once our hair grow to a certain length, it stay nappy. It don't stay nappy. My hair done been down to here, right? With no perm in it. And when I comb it out, it look wavy straight. But when it's short like this, that shit look like motherfucking BB shots and Robonauts. This is not about hair texture or skin color. This is about knowing who you is and asserting your right to claim what's yours because of who you are by the blood and the right. And if you don't know your blood and your rights, you lost in the sauce. Get off my page with that bullshit. Now, let's get into this Israel. The International Criminal Court has issued an arrest warrant for senior Israeli officials, including Benny Netanyahu. Right? Most of us don't know. The Mossad is the Israeli Secret Service. Every one of us that's interested in knowing what's going on, it's a book called By Way of Deception. And it's written by a retired Mossad agent against the orders of the Mossad. And I don't even know if he's still living. But he was highlighting something called the Operation Exodus, right? And Operation Exodus was going on in the 80s. And they was bringing Falasha Hadendawa tribe members from Ethiopia, and they was airlifting them into modern day Israel in order to justify their position on the land by incorporating the original so-called tribes from the land and repatriating them back to Gaza, which is the underlying justification for wiping out the Philistines, aka the Palestinians. Right? This was all 100 years earlier with the Balfour Declaration in World War I. This is all part of the culmination of the Balfour Declaration. And pale people, that's not true. He was killing any one of the dirty Moors he caught, whether they was a mulatto or not. They just showed you the mulatto branch of the family tree, but they don't show you the Negro branch of the family tree. The dirty Moors, them dark nappy head motherfuckers he was executing, they don't tell you about. Right? He knew what he was up against, and the Jewish rabbis say, what's the first two laws he passed before he took power? Right? The first one of the first ones was no interest on the money. If you take the interest off the money, that kills something called inflation, and it undermines central banking thievery process. Yeah. So anyway, so let me get back to this. Get to reading these comments, and y'all be to send me off on a tangent in another direction. Okay, so once Palestine was decided on, it's not the first location on the list. You got to remember that as well. When the United Nations was trying to establish the so-called homeland for these people, don't exist nowhere in history for real, right? They made up everywhere they go. They not native to nowhere on earth. Where they come from? Critical thinking. Where did they, if they not native nowhere on the planet, where did they come from? There's only two places they could come from if they not native nowhere. They either coming from a laboratory or they coming from outer space. Whichever one of them it is, they don't have a superior claim under the grandfather clause than the ones who was already here when they was created, brought here, or wherever the fuck they from. They got us fighting these little mini wars that keep us handicapped, resources depleted, and it keeps us scattered so we can't unify and bust their ass upside the head once and for all. Look, America, the United States, Ronald Wilson Reagan, George Herbert Walker Bush, and Oliver North was prosecuted for the Iran-Contra Guns for Drugs program. We got a short-term memory because we don't remember Iran-Contra. With Iran-Contra, they got convicted and they got what they call censured. That means they slapped them on the wrist and said, don't you do that no more, and get caught. Oliver North got the worst sentence. I think he got 2 years probation and 1 day in prison or jail. Right? So they got caught in their law. I didn't write this law. I'm just going to tell you what it say. It says the government cannot create a crime, lure the citizen into the criminal activity, and then arrest and prosecute the citizen for the crime that the government established to begin with. That's their law, not mine. It's a violation of the United States Code 1984, color of law. And the government cannot go in disguise, operating on the highways under the color of law with the express purpose of depriving the people of a right. The police job is to detain and arrest anybody. There are no restrictions. Anybody that they deem is committing a criminal act. You gotta remember that. Because the criminal acts that the outlaw tribes are guilty of is refusal to do business with the foreign entity and agents, refusal to sign treaties with liars and backbiters and backstabbers. This is what we guilty of, right? So we already hostile to the corporation, and the only reason I'm telling you this is because the Supreme Court said those non-treaty tribes are hostile to the United States survival. They invented a whole combatant program called counterintelligence program. If you counterintelligence, what are you enforcing if it ain't ignorance? Right? If you centralize intelligence, it's all focused on one point. But we don't pay attention to the words because we don't know what words mean. Half these motherfuckers that come out here talking trash to Rod Hayes have never looked up the most simplest words they use in their day-to-day language and swear they know exactly what they talking about, and they don't have a fucking clue. Ricky Ross was a prime example, and if y'all remember, the police that brought Ricky Ross' case to the forefront, which also served in being party to his liberation from the system, was none other than the original investigator of the Christopher Wallace homicide, known as Detective Poole. His name was Poole. And he came out and he was the one who told that his investigation led him to discover that it was corrupt police officers involved in the drugs program with the CIA and the FBI, which was a drug trafficking this was all part of Iran-Contra. Now, why are they over there in the Middle East? Afghanistan, Iraq, Iran, what they want over there. If you go and do the research, after the 9/11 invasion of Afghanistan, opium fields was being guarded by U.S. military to prevent the Mujahideen that became known as the Taliban, that was created by the CIA. Y'all don't know that because y'all ain't paying attention. The Mujahideen was created by the CIA to stop the Russian incursion into Afghanistan. And they financed a young man by the name of Osama bin Laden to be the leader of the Mujahideen, and they provided him with small arms. They provided him with massive amounts of currency They provided him with military intelligence. They provided him with everything he needed to fight his Mujahideen war against the Russians. Ain't that something? Remember who I told y'all came help us in the Civil War? Why they trying to stop Russia? Why they all in the Russian folks' business? Russia ain't coming over here getting in the middle of America and Mexico or America and Canada. So why in the hell is America over there getting between Russia and Afghanistan? So the Taliban, one of the things that they was doing that made America decide they had to be overthrown is once they took power in Afghanistan, they started burning opium fields. You know what happened when you burn opium fields, right? That means you interfering with some big time dope dealer's money. And remember, if you from the block, every one of us know this. If you from the block and somebody interfering with your money, we got a statement that we always say. Anybody can be touched about this bread. Anybody can be touched. Let's take it a step farther. Y'all remember that Iraq was being led by a gentleman by the name of Saddam Hussein. Do y'all know how Saddam Hussein came to power? I'm going to give you the short version. Saddam Hussein attempted to kill the Iraqi prime minister and failed, and he was in exile in either Sudan, Somalia, or Ethiopia. I can't remember which one, but it was over there in Africa. He was sitting there minding his own business. He had got away, and the Iraqis wasn't thinking about him, and he wasn't thinking about them. And lo and behold, some CIA agents slid up under Saddam and say, it's an opportunity for us to put you in a key position in the government. And then once you're in that position, you know you can have all of the motherfuckers arrested and executed on your call. He said, how y'all gonna do that? So Saddam had an uncle who at the time was a member of the Iraqi parliament. And his uncle brought him in as an advisor. And while he's in his advisory capacity, he ended up setting up a structure. So now what do he do when he get ready to take power? He called a government meeting, and all of the motherfuckers at the top of the government was arrested and executed. We don't remember this shit because we don't pay attention to world events. So the CIA financed Saddam Hussein to come to power. So why did they fall out? If they paid for Saddam Hussein, and remember, if you go back to the news of the 80s, you'll remember America kept repeatedly saying the only American ally in the Middle East is the country of Iraq. Iraq is America's #1 ally, right? If Iraq is the #1 ally and they depose their leader, what do you think they plan for us that's over here? When we have a leader, they already wrote it on paper. They told you what they was going to do. They would stop the rise of any potential Messiah type that could incite the masses. They got 3 names in there: Malcolm, Martin, and Elijah. Malcolm, Martin, and Elijah. That means that whoever these 3 is, these is the niggas that we got to get rid of first. Malcolm's contingency plan relied on the contingency plan established by Elijah Muhammad. Martin didn't have a contingency plan. His contingency plan fell in the hand of usurpers like Jesse Jackson, right? Ralph Abernathy and some of them other reverends, the revered ones who was revered among the rest of the Negroes because they can use these revered ones and reverence to keep the people under control. You can't control some of us, and we know that. Right? We know y'all can't control us. We just kind of figure out what y'all trying to control us with so we can set the captives free. Misinformation, religion, divide and conquer, skin-based racist caste system. This is what their tools are. Right? In the last resort, the tool of last resort. Remember, the Balfour Declaration was the long shot and it was the first shot. The first shot was the long shot in the restoration of a nation that never existed. And whoever these people is will tell you they self. Everywhere we go, we get kicked out. Go back to what Elijah said. He said, everywhere they go, they cause mischief and bloodshed. And when the people become aware of it, they either flee or they get exiled from the land for coming between two peaceful people and starting conflict and offering to sell a solution for a fee. Let that sink in for a minute while I light my blunt. They come between two peaceful people, will get them to fighting, and then they offer a solution to their conflict for a fee. And they keep falling for the same banana in the tailpipe. I know that banana gotta be old as hell. That banana gotta be black with putrefaction from being so old. Yeah, this is called a stogie. It's not no regular blunt. It's a stogie blunt. This me and my brother be rolling, so we don't have to keep rolling the 2-3 blunts. One of these is like 2 blunts, and this mug get you there. Oh, since I got you on here, Outdoor and Native, because it had dreadlocks, goofball. The dreadlocks, and all of us don't got poofy nappy hair. A lot of us hair is curly and wavy, and y'all just think it's poofy nappy, right? I want to know why ain't none of them motherfuckers pink. Since you want to know why they don't got nappy hair, I want to know why they ain't pink. Because all these pink motherfuckers masquerading as natives, all of them don't have a problem with us, only the ones that's misinformed. Like you. Come on my shit with that bullshit. And so America is a legal fiction masquerading as a government. Right? They masquerading as a government in order to deceive the organic people to the land into believing that they working on their behalf. When they not working for us, they not working for nobody over here, including the ones that keep coming in here with that bullshit. $3.50 ass Indians, $2 Indians. They not working for none of y'all. They working for the Vatican. They working for the Crown of England. They working for them niggas that's hiding out in Switzerland. They know I've been rounded up now. That's why they showing you they bunkers. If you go back and you look at the bunkers they recently discovered in Switzerland, then you will know who your enemy was, because they've all been rounded up by the motherfucking Earth Alliance. Right? I'm not telling y'all nothing I'm speculating on. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. And you got all these people confused as to who they is and where they belong on the land. The land gonna tell you where you belong. You can't stay somewhere. When Mama Earth tell you to move, you get antsy. You get uneasy. You feel like you need to be somewhere else. Sometimes to this day, I feel like I need to be in Mississippi close to the river. But I got a function I got to do. You can take your sources in your books and wipe your ass with them. I got thousands of sources that I done produced. If you just knock Johnny come lately, then you don't know what the fuck you talking about. I didn't produce the facts. Dane Calloway didn't produce the facts. Kareem Oahu didn't produce the facts. Top Cat didn't produce the facts. We got the information. We got what our ancestors told us, and we got what the enemy told us. And now you, Johnny come lately, you serpent ass, half-stepping motherfuckers that think y'all know what y'all talking about. Then y'all came over here as a motherfucking rent-a-slave, indentured servant, and now you want to masquerade like you indigenous to the land and like you know who we are better than we do. You can take your sources and you can wipe your ass with them. You can cook your soup with them. And you can simmer them motherfuckers down and baste your ass in the bullshit that it is. Come over here with that shit. You fucking with the wrong one. I know what I'm talking about. I'm not a chief because I said I'm a chief, motherfucker. I'm a chief because I was born into this shit, raised in this shit, and initiated in this shit by senior chiefs. And if you don't know, if you ain't put the work in the hood, and you don't know how we move, and you don't know how we operate, then tuck your tail between your legs and go wipe your pussy, nigga. Goddamn vagina fell out and he want to get mad at me. I know who he is. Just because you don't know who he is don't mean we don't know who he is. It's the same way that the Australian Aboriginals know that they was there before a colonizer came. It's the same way that the people in the Tongas and the Samoans knowing that who they was there before a colonizer came. The same way that the motherfuckers in Hawaii and motherfucking South and Central America know that we was here before a colonizer came. But you think because you a colonizer, a usurper, a interloper, that we not gonna dig in y'all motherfucking ass if y'all come try to stop us from getting what's rightfully ours. You can't stop this shit. If your dumb ass don't know the tribal procedure for recovering the land from an invading force at the close of the age, then go tuck your tail and sit your ass down like the cur you is. Come on my shit with that bullshit. I'm the wrong one, and this is the wrong day, because I'm feeling that way today, because I'm tired of watching you motherfuckers come in with this bullshit like y'all know what y'all talking about, because some motherfucker told you that they heard from another motherfucker somebody got a reference at some school in one of these universities, and none of you motherfuckers wasn't part of the construction of Nan University. Ain't Nan University named Little River University. Ain't Nan University named Standing Wolf University. They not named after none of us. The names that we was using when the colonizers came. So if your $5 ass want to get to the shit, you can come in. We could talk about this shit. I won't let nobody join me. You come in. I dig in your motherfucking ass with both feet. I would dig in your ass with both feet today. Today is the day. Chief Rod ain't bullshitting today. Chief Pontiac will motherfucking pound on his chest and tap dance on your ass about this shit today. I'm with the shits today. So out of all of the days you decided to come on my shit, today was the worst. Today was the worst, because I just got done wrestling with them African-American niggas about us, and now I'm about to wrestle with you $2.35 Indians about us. Sit your ass down. What the fuck you talking about? You don't know what a root clan is? Original totem clan? Then you go sit your ass down. You know what you talking about? If you can't tell me when we reclaimed DC back from the settlers, and by staking of the totem pole, sit your ass down. If you can't tell us when we put the Pope on public notice and he responded by rescinding the discovery doctrine, go sit your ass down. If you don't know Rod Hayes told these motherfuckers what to do to recover the government and the Muskogee Creek Nation was the only motherfuckers that got up and did that shit, go sit your ass down. Know what you talking about. This shit is in my blood, motherfucker. Fiery motherfucking red clay dirt, nigga. I'm that motherfucker with the long stringy ass tail and the pitchfork ready to poke and roast your ass in the pits of hell about my shit. Yeah, he a fucking troll. They keep sending them. They send $3.50. They ain't even whole $5 Indians. They send $3.50, $2.35 Indians and dirty Moors to come and tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about. When I didn't produce tons of receipts. But they want to catch the tail end of some shit, come in on the last word of a conversation and know what the whole discussion was about. Fucking with the right one. Fucking with the right one. And I ain't talked to Big Mama to calm my ass down today. Y'all niggas is in for it today. You fucking with the right one. Just like you trolling, goddammit, I will collapse the bridge on top of your motherfucking head. And us motherfucking Michiganders know something about motherfucking trolls. Yeah, a nigga come posting that shit under my page like he know me or some shit. Motherfucker, you don't know me. You don't know that I'm something to rise up in the shadow in your motherfucking bedroom at 3 a.m. and be standing there looking over your ass while you sleep talking about wake up, nigga. What's that shit you said? And you look behind me and you see all my ancestors standing there. Some of them got nappy hair. Some of them got straight hair. Some of them pink folks. But they all there back in my motherfucking play. Fucking with the right one today. So, all of these people with dope cases, everybody with a drug case, all you would have had to do to beat your drug case, this includes Big Meech. Big Meech probably wasn't aware of it, is tell on the government that's your co-defendant. Tell them motherfuckers that the government's supposed to be your co-defendant because they can't create the crime and prosecute you for it, and they was the #1 drug traffickers in the world. And still is. Still is. During Vietnam, that was about opium. The Korean War was about opium. That war they had in Afghanistan and Iraq, it was about opium, oil, and gold. While they was stealing the gold from under the World Trade Center, they was slant drilling, stealing oil from Iraq, and they was trafficking drugs out of Afghanistan. They wanted to run the pipeline from Uzbekistan through Gaza, through motherfucking Iraq to the Persian Gulf in order to bypass all of them motherfucking nations and ship that oil out under the Aramco OPEC United Oil Trade Agreement. All these wars is about money. It's about money and it's about mineral rights. It's about when they was using COINTELPRO to capture the chiefs across the land with the drug trade, they was bringing out the drugs, feeding them to the community while they strangled the rest of the financial resources to leave only one avenue to recover finances in your hood. Yeah, look, it's like I said, if these motherfuckers don't know that the tribal redemption process is, if they don't know how to restore the tribal rights back to the land, them the fake Indians. I'm following the process that the ancestors laid down, and I got to be from a native to the land, an organic motherfucker, because because I know the process by which the tribes is supposed to come together and reclaim the land. And I know what the tribes are doing and have done up to this point since I've been systematically following the tribal system of recovering the land. So the rest of them motherfuckers that be talking, they don't know what the fuck they talking about. These motherfuckers, half these motherfuckers is just jealous and hurt. They jealous and hurt. He's just trying to make a motherfucker from Africa because he worked for the CIA. He's an infiltrating usurper that's part of the FBI snitch program and the counterintelligence operations in the hood. You fucking with the right one today. He know what he doing. He worked for them people. The only people that come on here with that bullshit is motherfuckers that work for the government. Yep, we're in phase 4, reconstitution of government. At any given point, the charade is going to come to an end, and then there will be public announcements. It's a video, many of y'all probably seen it, of a whole bunch of bodies being unloaded from planes. Those was all of your politicians and half of your celebrities that you was watching in them body bags that was executed at Gitmo. And so they've been showing us, but we don't know what we're looking at. It's just like this clown in my video, right? This motherfucker don't got nothing to do with me. He don't know me. He ain't never met me, never seen me face to face. This nigga don't even got a picture of himself on his page. But he got the audacity to try to tell me about some afros and natives and about a transatlantic slave trade and question my credibility, and he the only motherfucker hiding. Keyboard warrior. They not like us. Look, when I say what I say, my people know what I'm talking about. But the people that ain't us, they don't got no fucking clue what I'm talking about. They think I'm talking about one thing and I'm talking about a whole nother subject. But my people know exactly what I'm talking about. And you got these clowns talking about poofy hair. Right? Go wash your vagina, you stinking ass man. Walking around, your uterus fell out. Think you a man. You's a bitch ass nigga. On my shit. You still one of them motherfuckers that think a nationality overrides a sovereign right. Stupid ass. Right? They told, look, all of these motherfuckers knew I was coming. They just didn't know that I would look like this. They all knew I was coming, but they didn't know I'd look like this. A regular old motherfucker. I look like the uncle that you seen last week, or the cousin that's coming over for dinner tonight, or your sister homeboy. It don't matter. They didn't expect this shit. They didn't expect that I would pull a motherfucking scab off they sore on their ass so I can continue to spank them some more. I ain't got no retreat, no back down in this motherfucking shit. Just then look at the audacity of the ones in charge. They send the most uninformed, lowest ranking minion they can find to crash out. They not gonna send, cause the ones who know, like, man, I'm not finna go over there and humiliate myself trying to fuck with that nigga. That nigga he know what he talking about. But they catch one of them fools. They catch one who don't know, and he think he know cause he arrogant. What he think is knowledge is pure arrogance, right? It's ego-driven bullshit. And then he gonna try to tell somebody something as if the people that's been watching Rod Hayes for the last 2 years, haven't seen more receipts. The only motherfucker that dropped more receipts that's referenceable than me is Malachi York. He the only motherfucker got more receipts than me. And then I'm not sure he got more receipts than me because I got receipts that I haven't seen him with. But I can tell you what, we know who we be. DMX, Chief Zolo, Notorious B.I.G., Chief Sitting Bull. You don't even know who these people is when they come back in this lifetime because you stuck on the history books and they whitewash history to mislead you about who they was in the last one. ODB, Chief Crazy Horse. I could do this shit all day. I could just sit here and just run down who chiefs that y'all have seen and didn't even know. Califia Queen. Y'all know her as Lisa Left Eye Lopez. Califia Queen. Y'all called her Aaliyah. And she exposed y'all who the fraud was in her land when she did Queen of the Damn and pointed out Kim Kardashian, but you wasn't paying attention because you think you know some shit, but you don't know nothing about the tribes. You say I look South African. What's going on, right? And they so hurt. Some of the elders been telling them what's going on, and they so hurt. The only reason why we here is because the Dirty Moors wanted to replace the natives that was already here, so they went into an amnesia war. Who can wake themselves up first? Look, if I was a prophet, would you watch me rise or talk about me bad, be government spies, despise me for relentless pursuit of the truth, send suicide bombers to execute me in the booth. You can kill the man, but can't kill the source. Man, if I was a prophet, you couldn't alter my course. That's if I was a prophet. I'm just saying. Welcome to the end times prophecies, motherfucker. Where you see these motherfuckers manifesting what was written in your books just for the explicit purpose of telling you how to get free. And all you want to do is stay trapped in your bondage and keep as many people trapped with you that follow that false narrative bullshit that these secret societies has pushed out as information. Look, 99% of the world's population was illiterate before 1900. Do the math. Who was doing the writing? If 99% of the world's population was illiterate before 1900, who was doing all the writing? The 1%, the secret societies, the guilds, the brotherhoods, right? And who was running the governments back then? If 99% of the people was illiterate, who was running the government? Right? 1%, the secret societies, the guilds. Y'all motherfuckers kill me with this shit. Look, all of the historical texts through the universities had to be approved by one of the secret societies or it wouldn't be accessible to the public. All of the texts that came to us through university had to be approved by a secret society to reach the people. Who was it that decided to put slave narratives written by educated slaves in a book? Think about that shit for a minute. In the time of so-called slavery in these slave narratives, when 99% of the world's population was illiterate, right? Who was writing this fucking perfect English, perfect French, perfect whatever, Arabic? Who was writing this shit if only the 1% was readers and writers? Oh yeah, I'm gonna say this shit. Look, these motherfuckers don't be knowing that I really do know what I'm talking about, and they want to assume that I don't. What's gonna be the shocker is when all of the people that you thought was the power wielders come ass kissing. They don't got to kiss my ass because they can't get shit from me. Everything got to come through Big Mama. All of these motherfuckers y'all think heavy hitters. I don't care if they celebrities, if they motherfucking businessmen, if they politicians. They gonna all come ass kissing if they ain't executed to Big Mama. And that includes your chief. If you think that if you think you outdoor and native, right? If you think you outdoor and native, when this all of this shit said and done, whoever you claim your chief is, watch who that motherfucker go give his honors to. Big Mama. Why you think we playing? And y'all thinking this shit is a game, or this is some shit that some nigga just came out of nowhere talking about we was already here and we didn't come from overseas and all this shit. Wait until this shit come out into the mainstream. Right now, we still underground. Why we still underground? It's not that we hadn't, because we doing everything according to the ancestral mandates by the book that they gave us called the Book of Life. This is called the redemption process, and we redeeming all of the righteous. And all you motherfucking $1.25 Indians on these motherfuckers who claim that we don't know what we talking about, when it's all said and done, y'all motherfuckers gonna have to come to us to be authorized to walk this goddamn land. Otherwise, you're gonna get treated like the enemy, rounded up with the enemy, and disposed of like the enemy. Right? This motherfucker on here talking about some CIA knowing he a whole agent. He know he a whole agent. He ain't even $5 Indian. He $1.25 Indian. all of the requests, when I open it up, they don't even show. Yeah. Look, I don't know who this nigga is, call himself indigenous outside or outside and indigenous or naked and free or whatever the fuck his name is. But when it come time to scout motherfuckers, I'm going to get that nigga scout. Personally. It's a couple of these motherfuckers who scalps I'm personally coming to get. And I'm coming with 1,000 GDs, 1,000 Crips, 1,000 Bloods, 1,000 Vice Lords, 1,000 Cholos, 1,000 motherfucking MS-13, 1,000 Hells Angels. I'm getting 1,000 just for my personal preference from every motherfucker that's supposed to be here. They all gonna give me 1,000 motherfuckers, and I'm coming to get all you niggas scalps. I'm not just taking off the top of your head. This time I'm snatching your face off so we can see it. And I ain't killing you. I ain't gonna kill you. I'm gonna let you walk around faceless like you want to be on social media talking that bullshit. Don't believe that it ain't a motherfucker right now because I said that. There's somewhere close to you watching every motherfucking move you make from this point forward. Because motherfucker, when I say, where is that motherfucker was talking that shit? If I don't come to your motherfucking door to get you, they gonna bring you to mine. And then we gonna have this discussion. Are you interfering with the redemption process of the righteous tribes that's rightfully on the land by the right blood and by right? So all of this righteous shit gonna knock your ass back to the left. Remember that when I told you that. See, somebody gotta bump these niggas straight. It's just that right now, my chief say, Rod, we brain banging. Remember, we ain't gang banging. But that don't mean that it ain't gonna be some of these motherfuckers that we ain't gonna have to go out. I'm skinning niggas' backs. And then I'm packing them with salt and lighter fluid, and I'm striking the goddamn match. And if they live, they live. I'm like Drago and Rocky. If he dies, he dies. But you're going to get this work. You're going to get this work one way or another. You can get it through education, or you can get it through motherfucking demonstration. If I was you, I would take the educational work, because the demonstrational work that's where I'm good. I'm not good at this shit. I'm not good at this tongue wrestling shit. I'm good at knocking you motherfuckers out. That's what I'm good at. And
okay, I can't show myself because I just can't finally get to you, Rod Hayes. I got so many questions. First of all, just want to let you know, love you, love the work you do. I'm not a big studier, so I don't know all the stuff that you talk about in depth, but it definitely resonates with my spirit. And I'm one of Larry's girls. I'm from your tribe here in Chicago.
girl,
Yes, I am.
okay, well,
So
let's see if we can answer some of your questions.
Okay, so one of my biggest questions was about this whole tribal thing, about the land. How do we reclaim our land?
We in the process right now. The only hold up right now is we don't have enough of the tribes aware.
Okay.
When we get to the point where it's enough of the tribes that's aware of who they are and that they have elders that's actively restoring our birthright, then you'll see it play out physically. But in the meantime, we have to educate in public as many as possible to get enough of us aware. Because all of us know what we call Larry, Chief, right?
Yes, absolutely.
What the Stones call Angel Bay, Chief, right?
Yes.
This is an accident?
No, not at all.
We don't know who we calling Chief?
Isn't that something? I had no idea when I was calling him Chief what I was calling him Chief for a long time ago. A long time ago. I had no idea what was going on. no idea when we was out there, doing that little thing.
You know where to go.
I know now. So with that, even though we're in this structural system, it seems like it got a really tight grip on the people in their minds. So does that have anything do we have to do this politically? Once we release once the sheets get released?
When they finally get released, Larry, he has to give a speech because he had to report to. He don't got to report to like me. He got to report to the people, to the clans. When he
do you know how far-fetched it sound, brother? It sounds so far-fetched, but this is what's got to happen.
This is the culture. Larry is the chairman, right?
Absolutely.
The chairman of what?
Of the organization.
That's just our organization. He's the chairman of the All Is One organization.
The All Is One.
Remember 74, the new creed?
Yes. The blueprint, the master blueprint.
Okay, remember the treaty signed in Pontiac, Illinois?
I'm not quite familiar with that.
It ain't hard to find. Look it up online. There's a peace treaty, and it was the LSD, United Front, Lord Stones and Disciples.
United Peace Organization.
No. It's Lord Stones and Disciples back then.
Okay.
Had came together in order to clean up the streets, restore the tribal structure, restore the tribal dignity back to the people. Well, what happened is we got usurped by some people that look like us, pretending to be us, but it wasn't us.
I know. I know that.
As the chairman of the board, the final report would be the equivalent of the president giving the State of the State address. Larry's responsibility entails him, when it's over with, he have to give a State of the Tribes address. He have to show you. So that's his job. And then the conjure side, which falls under the domain of the priests, that has to be explained by Malachi Z. York.
Wow.
As the Yamasi chief, he have to explain the conjure wars and the sorcery because that's his specialty in his field. Not religious, but spiritual practice. He is the highest priest on the planet right now. He holds the Melchizedek seat, and he holds the seat of the Alkupt, and he holds the Zoser seat of priests. So when it's all the same seat, it's just different name for different culture.
Okay.
And over here, it's the Tahuti seat is the priest. Tahuti, right. So the Tahuti is the Trismegistus, or the thrice great king, statesman, right, and family man, but they say king, statesman, and magician.
So we've been tricked.
Yeah. This was all a big game that was played for us we had a responsibility. Go back to when Bill Cosby went on Oprah Winfrey about a controversial statement he made. And you'll see at the beginning of the controversial statement, he say, we are not upholding our end of our agreement in this thing. What are you talking about?
I don't know. We don't know nothing about an agreement.
He's talking about the 200 years George Washington challenge to educate ourselves out of the condition. And this is why Martin couldn't go to war. That's why Garvey couldn't go to war.
Okay.
They was privy to enough information to know that whatever we do, if we fight these people and start massive bloodshed, it resets.
So what we saying in essence is spiritually, all our cheese was put in place for this to take place.
Yeah.
But these powers that were manipulated us so bad, and they scattered us so much, and they tore everything apart, so we could not redeem ourselves earlier than we needed to.
Right. Because Noble Drew Ali knew what was going on when he got the information from the more Zionist Jews, but he couldn't do nothing about it. Because the blood of the righteous shall not be spilled in vain. And so they was using the blood conjurers and that's what was keeping us trapped, because the the human becomes an angel repellent when he's under stress.
The human becomes an angel repellent
Yep.
when it's under
Yep.
stress. Whoa.
Your adrenaline response.
Whoa.
Look, your adrenaline response puts off a pheromone. You can't consciously smell it, but those who we call the angels, which is actually our higher consciousness self, when you in that state, they can't help you until you calm yourself. They call that finding your center.
Okay.
Once you find your center, then one of the elders that's in your bloodline will incarnate in you as a walking being, but it's really just your higher self overtaking your ego self. W.E.B. Du Bois wrote about it in The Souls of Black Folks in the chapter called The Warring Soul.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get that and read that. That makes perfect sense. That's the reason why now we're changing our vibrations. Yeah. Many of us are going higher. Yeah. That makes perfect sense.
Well, you got to remember, they had to keep us, because of who we are, in a perpetual state of stress.
Yes. That's what we at. That's what most of our people at, in a perpetual state of stress, anger, violent. Everything that's like just distress.
Now look.
Yes, that makes sense.
The root to stress, right? Other things you mentioned, danger makes you become violent as a response. That's because you're under stress.
Okay, right? That makes so much sense.
Look, fear will also make you resort to violence because you are under stress.
Okay, fear is what keeps us in a state of competition where we don't go higher and really go after the real culprits. We'd rather go after each other.
Yeah, that's what they call it. It's the barnyard syndrome.
The barnyard syndrome?
Yeah. It's the dog that can whip all the dogs in the yard, but he can't beat no dog outside his barnyard.
Oh, dang. Where that come from? What can I, get that knowledge?
That's Southern lingo.
Okay.
It's just talking to the people in the South. See, our roots come from the South.
Okay. My people from the South, I never heard of it, but it makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense.
So we become have all this bravado with each other because we're using each other to try to train ourselves to overcome the obstacle when we lead a farm. Some of us can beat everybody on the farm, but can't beat nobody when he leads. Right? So now, we see this play out in chicken fighting and dog fighting that we used to do years ago, right? And
yes.
You got a dog. If you bring a dog on his property and they're the same size, he's not gonna lose. But that same motherfucker, you take him off his land, he can't win a fight, right? That's why you have in sports home field advantage.
Okay, that makes sense about the guys on the block.
Like you have a team that might go undefeated at home, and then they might have a 50-50 road record.
Wow, you dropping knowledge. This psychological warfare. Dang.
Yeah, it's sociology used to influence the psychology.
Brother.
It's the technical tools to control a slave system. You have to know how people move socially, which is sociology, in order to override the individual's psychology.
Okay.
Right? So they give us alternative outlets to our stress that we have no control over. We can't control the football game. We can't control the boxing match. We can't control whatever we see on that idiot box. We don't have any control over it. But because the guy that they told us was the hero won, then we get to say, oh, shit, I was close call. No, it wasn't. In no time was the hero of the movie ever in danger. Because they can't make a sequel if they kill him off.
Absolutely not.
So
how do we get higher, Rod?
well, we start off, you gotta start grounding your energy. Trees
Mm-hmm.
in the earth is the most stable stabilizers of energy we know of.
Mm-hmm.
Start lean your back against the tree, take your shoes off, sit there and read a book. You grounding your balance, you're bringing balance back to the self with the grounding process, and now you're opening up the knowledge reservoir by actively using it while you ground it out. It gives you a stronger grasp of everything you experience and you are experiencing in real time what you read.
Oh wow,
This is
that makes perfect sense.
right. This is the purpose of reading. People think reading is for knowledge. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's weightlifting for the brain.
Well, I can listen to you all day, Rod.
Mm-hmm. And
Wait,
then it's also showing you, if you see it from that way, this guy that wrote this book see it from this way. Now you
Mm-hmm.
have a comparative analysis from how you originally seen it versus how somebody else seen it. And the more different perspectives you can get looking at the problem, the more different ways you get to look at the problem. And the solution is always in the problem. Get rid of the enemy without, and the enemy within can do you no harm. In other words,
Absolutely.
extract the solution from the problem, and the problem is not even there to be a concern about.
Okay. Unbothered, being unbothered.
Unbothered as a motherfucker. I call it the fucking key, right?
Okay.
I tell them I'm going through the storms of life, singing and dancing in the motherfucking rain,
Okay.
right?
Oh
Then,
my God.
right?
Nice.
So, Heru in the flesh said you got to get into the God mind. Let me give you a little idea of what I'm talking about. In a Christian doctrine, they say, let this mind be in you, which was in Christ Jesus. Well, how in the fuck do you do that?
Right. Right.
You use the faculty of imagination and you use the art and science of self-talk. You ask yourself to show yourself, if God was looking at this problem, what would he see?
This is good stuff, y'all. I'll share this, Joy.
Look, so if you can't lie to you.
Absolutely
Because you're
not.
gonna know you lying, right?
And I'm one of Larry's girls, so we can't lie. I can't lie to myself because I know what's better. I know the truth.
Right. But even if you tried to lie to yourself, you're gonna know you lying.
Absolutely.
Which is gonna automatically expose the lie. So when you use self-talk and you send your higher self to go look at something from God's perspective, your higher self can't come back and say this is what it looked like if it don't look like that, because you gonna know he lying. Because it's you. You see, we supposed to knew this when we was 4 years old, but didn't nobody tell us.
Wow. You can't lie to yourself.
You can't lie to yourself. You gonna know you lying.
Absolutely. And righteous endeavors.
Any and all righteous endeavors.
Absolutely. This is some good stuff, Rod. This is some good stuff. I finally got you. Oh my goodness. And I got a couple of lessons.
The BOS to the SOS. Each one teach one.
Oh, we not SOS no more. Wait a minute, Brian. Let me tell you. We juggling, not struggling. Okay? We not struggling no more. We juggling.
Hey, look. We flipping codes and cracking motherfucking doors.
Right. The struggle is over. We juggling this thing. We not struggling. So let's not lie to ourselves.
Yeah. Remember, if you try to lie to yourself, if you try to lie to yourself, then this is why I don't have a lot of respect for them people that come over here and try to get their opinions about what I'm talking about. Because they know in their heart of hearts, they lying to their goddamn self before they wrote that shit on my page. They knew they was lying to themselves when they wrote that shit on my page.
Just drop the bar. Just drop the bar. That is a bar. They lying to themselves. They lying to themselves. And we can't lie to ourselves no more. It's over with.
All you got to first, look, the old saying is first to thine own self.
Be true. Right.
Why did they
Oh my
tell you that?
God.
Because sociologically, the social
Mm-hmm.
juggernaut will convince you to disregard your own psychology in order to convince you
Whoa.
you successfully lying to yourself, and all the time you still know you lying.
Ooh. Oh my God, Rod, you got to put that on paper.
That's them
You got
going
to jot
along
that
to,
down.
that's them going
Ooh,
along to get along ass niggas.
ooh, wait, man, that is that's truth right there. That is absolute truth.
If you ask a
And this,
Cobra Stone over there, if you ask a Cobra Stone who they chief, they gonna say Mickey Caldwell. He ain't even here no more in the flesh,
whoa,
but
wow.
his
So
spirit
who would
walking
be
with Angel Bay.
okay? The spirit walking with
So
Angel Bay.
they still can see him.
Okay,
So they can't lie to themselves as if Mickey Caldwell never existed. They still acknowledge him as their chief. And this is why Cobra Stones fall under the Peace Stone Nation.
okay,
As long as Angel Bay here, they chief walk spiritually with him. And
okay,
this is why how they create their alliances.
okay, okay. Make perfect sense. Can't get somewhere.
Look,
Nothing like
I'm a GD. I was born into this. My mama a vice lord.
mm-hmm.
My daughter a Peace Stone.
Oh wow.
But
We
here go the
family.
kicker. Just like in my family on my motherland, I'm the G stuck in the middle,
Mm-hmm. We family.
right? But on my fatherland, I'm a chip off the old block because his nickname was Fork.
Oh, oh wow. Fort. Oh wow.
Fork
Oh wow.
is that's the trident of the disciple nation.
Oh wow.
Remember, at one point it only had one trident. We was
I don't
at
know
that
too
time we was
much about
devil
the song.
disciples.
The devil
We were devil
disciples.
disciples, right?
Wow. I don't know too much about that.
Yep, you have seen it. It's the little Casper devil with the pitchfork. That's the logo. That's the symbol.
Pastor Devil
The
with
little
the
red
pitchfork.
devil with
You
the
know what?
pitchfork.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. I saw that on. I probably saw a logo of that
It's in the
somewhere.
literature. All right, go back and look in the literature at the imagery. It's the little devil with the pitchfork, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's the baby.
Oh.
I was
Is it
born in
the blueprint
'68.
didn't make okay, question. Did the blueprint make it to the public domain yet?
I've been trying to get a copy of it, but
I got you.
Shorty Bible is, he a walking Hafiz for us. He got the whole blueprint dedicated to memory, to all the literature.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's why he was accepted everywhere by all the folks, because he was recognized by the entire board. He had memorized that shit by the time he was like 12. That's
Whoa.
what they
I
used
know
to
we was
call it. That's
heavy.
why he got his nickname, Shorty Bible. But he got
Oh
videos on
wow. Wow. Get out of here. I did not know that.
yeah.
That's
So
why he
he
got
got
pretty Bible.
yeah, and he
Wow.
got videos on TikTok where he's going over. This is for our clan, but other clans can benefit from the information, and so we put it in the public domain.
Okay. That part.
Mm-hmm.
But the master blueprint is not in the public domain.
Not as far as I know.
Okay.
It was once in print.
Well, I know I got a piece of
Yeah,
it.
it was once in print. It was the blue book, the GD blue book,
Mm.
and then
Wow, we
um,
family.
yeah. And whoever was printing it must either they got banned by the government, because I think it went out of print around the same time as the ghetto apparel went out of business.
Oh, really? I know this white guy. He published it. I'll forget his name. I think he passed away.
You
But it's a bad piece of work. I'll tell you that much.
don't know about the WGDs on the north side, do you?
No, I don't.
Them
I'm a
white
little girl
gangster,
from the South
them the white
Side.
gangster disciples.
Wow.
They got
Really?
a member on the board.
Wow. That's
They ain't
interesting.
allowed to wear tattoos because they got to be able to pass off as a politician or a doctor or a lawyer.
Uh,
They not allowed to wear tattoos.
Really? They got to pass off as a professional?
Yep. They, that was when we made alliances with them, or Larry and them made alliances with them when they leadership was getting arrested, and then he's like, well, the conversation went something like, what do we do? You know what I'm saying? With our youth, if we want to make this alliance, and Larry said, tell them no tattoos, and they all got to go to school for something.
And I remember that in my teenage. We had to go to school, no lying, no stealing. I remember all that stuff.
Yeah.
However, what is it? Something else I wanted to ask you? Why I got you? You know, you're a hard person to catch up with. Oh my God, brother Rod. Hey, this is my first time. You know how long I've been following you. I know somebody else want to get to you. This is dope. It's absolutely dope. Oh my God, there's something else. I know why I got you. It's gonna come in my head.
See that happening.
I was feeling in my soul
If that
too.
happened, there's still the stage show anyway. It won't matter. But I don't see it even happening. I think because we so close to closing out everything in this.
Oh.
We in phase 4 of reconstitution of government, right? You know, in Tallahassee a couple weeks ago, I went down there for the coronation of the Empress. Tribally speaking, that's the equivalent of a constitutional convention and the appointment of the leadership, right? And the leadership you can only choose by blood and by right. So remember, in the U.S. Constitutional Convention, it was only 70 people there. Only 55 of them voted for the Constitution. So you don't need the whole of the country. You just need the right people from the right bloodline in the right place at the right time to tie it all together.
Okay.
And so when that happened, that was on the heels of putting everything out in the public domain. The reason why she knew who I was and I knew who she was before we met, because her receipts that they was giving her, every time I successfully done something in the redemption process of the tribes, the settlers got to give her the corresponding paperwork. That's the receipt, right?
Wow.
So this is how she knew who I was, and I knew I was able to verify who she was. So now, while she is showing me certain stuff or we had conversations, I can go back to 2018, 2019 to bring her a receipt that's dated before the conversation between me and her ever came up, because I could say, I already did that. She was like, show me. And now I got to show her in the public record. And the first thing she got to check is the date. And
so it's stuff going on that we don't even know about.
It's going on in everybody's face. It's just that they don't know what they're looking at.
Okay.
That disconnected from their bloodline and their family, and they that indoctrinated by the social structure of the settlers, the colonizers. That their culture is being rolled out in front of them. And we following a very specific process called the redemption process that can only be used at the close of the age. This is an artificial conjure, so everything is artificial to give us a mirror image of what was real. So by following the process, they get the same way that they came in. It's the same way that they go out. They started with George, when they started with George Washington and they ended with George Bush. The Obama, he wasn't even born here. So as soon as he was elected president, that ended everything. Their whole corporate structure is gone. But here go the problem. The people don't know. The people in the corporation doesn't know the rules that runs the corporation. So they can't even enforce their own rules on the fraud taking office. And this is why Trump was raising hell about the birth certificate, and people thought it was an attack on him because he was melanated. Trump was telling you the whole time, Barack Obama, he ain't from here. He's a clone. He's from a laboratory.
Whoa, dang, woo, ouch.
They tell
You know how
you
bad
the
that just
story.
hurt?
Look, his laboratory creation story is called The Demon Seed.
Dang,
His birth
yeah.
story is Rosemary's Baby.
Oh, wait.
His
You
childhood,
know how bad that hurt?
look, his childhood and family upbringing was given to us as the Omen 1, 2, and 3.
Whoa. You know how bad that hurt? It's happening right in front of our face. We don't know what the heck is going on.
Look, when I was telling people this back when he was running for office, I was like, y'all voting for the devil himself.
Dang,
If
child.
y'all want to know
I'm
who
here like,
the Antichrist was that need to be deposed, that's going to trigger the people to stand up for themselves, and one of the ones with the
mm-hmm,
blood and the right going to say that nigga don't
mm-hmm,
belong here, and it
mm-hmm.
was him.
This boy, I argued this boy up and down. He kept telling me that I was so blind. I was like, boy, you crazy. Get up on my face. He was saying he the Antichrist. I was like, boy, get out of here. People were saying that.
Look, his track record verifies who he is. All it is the CIA, the Mossad, the KGB, MI5, MI6, and all of the secret societies are working.
Mm-hmm,
They all working together to weave reality out of the book called the Bible in order
mm-hmm,
for us to know how to bring it to an end. So the ones of us that's watching them play this game,
mm-hmm.
we not born veiled. That means that we born with a certain way to see the world that other
We
people
are
not.
seers.
Right.
Yes, we are
So
seers. Yes.
when we see them playing their game, we recognize the game that they playing. But as an
Mm-hmm.
adolescent and a child, you're not mature enough to explain to the other people about how the game is played and who the players are. And this is what make us people like me stay away from all of the Washington D.C. shit.
Naysayers.
No, not the
Mm-hmm.
naysayers. You need naysayers because if you don't have
Absolutely right.
naysayers, there is no counterbalance to the truth.
Got got you on that. Got you on it. Needs to be a balance. Needs
Yeah,
to be a counterattack.
right.
Got
So
you.
if you
Got you.
telling the truth, one thing about it, the worst thing that you could tell somebody is the truth because that offends more than a lie. A lie is
They gotta have a debate.
yeah,
Gotta have a debate.
a lie is only offensive to the ones who love the truth, but the ones who love the lie, live the lie, and love to lie to others, the lie
Mm-hmm.
is a comfortable norm to them. They
Mm-hmm.
the ones that swear up and down when they go see David Copperfield that he's not going to trick them into believing that airplane, that big ass DC-10 disappeared. But after the
Mm-hmm.
show, they trying to figure out how they got tricked. But he
Ooh.
told them before they went he was finna trick them. They got
Mm-hmm.
comfortable lying to themselves. Therefore, when the illusion took place, they didn't know what stream of information in their soul to follow.
Man, God raised up a good one. You got raised up, brother. Thank you for answering the call.
Look, it's just family business. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
just doing what the family need me to do with the development of skills that I develop.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to be the best me I can be. I did not
Yeah.
expect any of this to be the result of me trying to be the best me I could be. But
Right.
my literature told me that I should help any and all brothers and sisters of the struggle in any and
Mm-hmm.
all righteous endeavor. It didn't say I can't help Angel Babe because he peace stoning them
Mm-hmm.
folks. If he
Right.
right, he right. Right.
Absolutely.
Okay. It don't mean
Absolutely.
that because Tukey from the West Coast and we from the Midwest that I can't speak up for the Crip King.
Right.
Right? Because
Yeah.
he was right. They set him up they set him up exactly the same way they set up Geronimo Pratt. If you read Geronimo Pratt case and you read Tukey case, you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna swear up and down that you confused the two cases. Because they're that similar.
Wow. Wow.
It took
I
Johnny,
read his
yeah,
bio.
It took Johnny Cochran 27 years to prove that Geronimo Pratt was set up. But wasn't nobody fighting. Wasn't nobody fighting for Tukey. Because he was the king of the Crips. And then the government said he's a gang leader. Yeah. But the government didn't tell the people when they was calling him a gang leader that they know that under COINTELPRO, a gang mean a tribe.
Woo! Oh my God, nothing but a trap. Nothing but a trap.
So they got the people believing that the gang is an organized criminal band of misfits.
Nothing but a trap.
Right. And then, so when the tribes reconstitute, because you only going to break us up for so long, because we're going to always gravitate back to our chief. There's three chiefs. There's three chiefs as the three high chiefs of the land. Big Tukey, Larry Hoover, and Angel Bay.
Okay.
All right. So it's family business because all parts of the family is doing their part in the recovery of what belongs to the family. So the part that I'm doing, only because I'm the only one that asked the unorthodox questions that found out the unorthodox answer, that the white man ain't white. It wasn't a pale face, but they hid behind pale faces.
Woo.
They used the colors code as the caste system to usurp the minds of the people into believing that it's about skin, when the white man not white and the black man not black. They both shades of brown and they both got kinky hair. They grow up in our neighborhoods and our families, and the only way you know that they not us is because they don't move in love.
Like us. Right. They're not righteous. Absolutely.
Right. And because we belong here, we have an extra compassion for those who come here.
Yes.
Because Big Mama always taking in somebody old ratchet ass child.
All the time. All the time.
We be the uncles that be sitting there like, why is she taking this ratchet ass kid in, knowing this motherfucker finna fuck the house up?
He ain't no good.
But Big Mama say all the baby need is some love and he'll be all right. Well, he ain't a baby no more, Big Mama. This nigga grown now. You can't love this grown ass nigga and reverse that bullshit he was taught when he was little.
Rod Hayes, that's nothing but the truth. That's nothing but the truth. My goodness, that's nothing but the truth.
So then what's the remedy? Now that it's been proven that she took that ratchet motherfucker kids in, him and his stinking ass kids, he poisoned her, took mama name out of Big Mama house and called it the big house, lied to us in the barracks, because that's what they was, family barracks. They was little, we lived, you know, we lived as a community. And he lied to us and told us that the whole world is at war, and if you leave the farm, you're going to get executed. And all the time, he hired Mr. Sally and Mr. Charlie to come in and oversee the ones on the field. And this nigga is using Big Mama's death as an excuse to sell the land, knowing good and goddamn well now one of us is going to ever sell no land under any conditions. Because
they gotta go.
You can't sell what don't belong to you.
They gotta go.
So that's why we was able to trace the sweetheart swindle, because my dumb ass want to ask questions like, who is the black hen and where them niggas go and where they come from, right? Who is this house nigga? Where he come from and how he get to wear a suit and the rest of us got to wear these rags?
Right.
And why is they calling Big Mama house a plantation when it was just a family farm that all of the teenagers had to come to when they got old enough to do their share of the family work? And now they done turned them into POW camps, but we ain't none the wiser because we listening to this nigga up in the house. Because he was laying next to Big Mama before he killed her.
You summed that up so well.
Now that we know what they did, The only
Mm-hmm.
remedy is to do unto others, because they didn't
If they doing
already did it to
it,
us.
right, they gotta go.
We ain't looking for revenge. We just trying to give everybody what they owe, good, bad, or indifferent, without prejudice or discrimination. If the motherfucker earned it, give it to him. If he earned the guillotine, give it to him. If he
Right.
earned getting his back skins ripped off, doused with salt, soaked in lighter fluid, and set the fuck on fire, give him what he earned.
I know. Give him what he earned. Give it to him, and then they gotta go. They got to
If they
go,
earn,
brother.
look,
They got to
if
go.
they earned a righteous reward, then righteously reward them.
Absolutely.
If I don't want nothing, don't belong to me.
Mm-hmm.
My nigga,
Yeah.
my nigga Chief Pontiac, man. What's that
What
word, bro?
it do? What it do?
Man, bro, I got some questions for you, bro. For real, dog. Cause I've been trying to figure this shit out. You know,
Let's go.
we got, the Vice Lord's checking in too. By the way, I know you remember me though, but Finn,
Oh
but
yeah.
but look, our question is this, bro, cause you got all these people. I feel like the moon. I don't know whether that bitch trying to backdoor me or I could trust it, cause it's so many different paradigms on the moon. Motherfuckers say it's a spaceship, or they'll say it's the mother energy. You know what I'm saying? It's the feminine aspect. Because it's like we got the masculine from the sun, and then we got the feminine from the moon, and that makes sense because it's the balance of both. But then they try to say it's a spaceship. So should I fuck with the moon, or should I really look? Because I heard you say one time you like that motherfucker take off whenever something ain't right with that motherfucker.
Yeah. If the war, well, if it's a war going on in a certain part of the universe, that motherfucker was. "Burp, I'm out of here."
Yeah,
The moon was put there. We have a recorded record of a time before the moon. You remember the movie Avatar?
yeah.
The moon of Saturn, called Lilith, used to be the moon that gave us our nightlight. The
Mm-hmm.
Lilith moon made the nighttime look like you was under a black light in the club. You see all that fluorescent shit that be shining?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Damn,
Imagine
that's
all of
crazy.
these beautiful flowers in nature at nighttime under a black light, a black moon. That
Yeah,
was
it's glowing
the
like.
Lilith energy. The Lilith energy, certain women access it during what we call the dark phase of the moon. The women learn because they put the moon there for several purposes. One was to interfere with the natural biorhythm of the women. And the
Right.
women felt the energy and they came up with something called moon magic.
Mm.
Moon magic is the way that they learned how to control that energy in the 3D when the um, lunar energy is overriding their Lilith self. So the
Mm.
divine feminine self has been usurped by patriarchs who want to control the reproductive rate of the women and want to take that control from
Hey, you
them.
see look at these cats over here. They tripping, man. They feeling this energy. It's two cats right here under this whip. They fucking with us, man. They spiritual. This bitch
Hmm.
over here tweaking. But nah, that's crazy you say that because like you say, the periods is based off the moon cycle.
Hmm.
So we know it got something to do with the feminine energy. So it's like, but you say the Lilith, yeah, they bring that Lilith out of them. That shit crazy though. So damn. Shit, that's really my question for real. I sit and ask a bunch of questions all fucking day. Chief Pontiac got them answers, boy. Well studied, well studied. But shit, I ain't on shit, man. Hey, I just want to say free Jeff Ford, free Larry Hoover, man. Free them Chiefs, man. Like you
For
say,
sure, for sure.
when you need them 1,000 vice lords, I'm coming with you. We slaying shit. I'm on that.
They already
Whoever,
know what's up, man.
if they,
Look, they think that we wasn't gonna never figure out that they was putting the families against each other.
man.
But
Nah, we
our
finna.
OGs gonna tell us.
Oh, fan. That's what I'm saying. Like, hey, like you said, who right is who right. I don't give a fuck what chief you under. If you right, you right. And I'm coming for who righteous, man. Shit.
Yeah, that's
We got whatever a motherfucker looking for. So y'all be under Chief Pontiac shit tripping. We coming, man. So don't be playing like that. I'm gone, bro. I'm gone, bro.
all right.
Love, bro. Appreciate you.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. I've been watching you for a minute on my man Black Magic 363. You know what I'm saying? I said, man, I gotta tap
brother
in on the
Rich, I love
line.
that brother.
Yeah, man.
Me and brother Rich be talking. We get to
Man,
talking, and then he'll say, "Hey, we gotta do a show on this." We just be having
man,
a regular
man.
conversation.
And I'm trying to tell you, man, it's an honor to be able to tap in with you. I just wanted to tap in on when you say, cause see, me and my mother, we recently just acquired moving over to Ghana. You know what I mean? Just to, yeah, I mean, broaden our horizon. But on my father's side, my cousin, like, man, we from here. I'm like, yeah, I know that. I know that for very well. You know what I mean? Because my great great grandmother was, yeah, I mean, part of that tribe. Like, she had one real long hair, yeah, I mean, all the way down to the ground, used to drag. My mother told me about. So what I want to know, I'm coming out of Baltimore. I'm born from Baltimore, you know what I'm saying? Most of my family been out of Baltimore and New York. So how do I find out, yeah, I mean, what part of tribe that I actually come from on the land?
It's, you can watch your natural behavior, and then
Okay.
you can watch wherever we group up at.
Okay.
That's wherever we at in the group. That's tribing up. And if
Okay.
you see the group that's doing stuff that express how you feel, find out who they are. Cause
Absolute.
when they life living their life and just regular, they still following things that's natural to who we are. And then
Absolute.
this is how a lot of people will come from a different place, and they'll be older, but they'll join on to the local tribe, what they call gangs,
Right.
right? Because the what they call in the gang is a tribe, and the way that they moving, the genetic memory of the newcomer is clicks. Them my people.
Absolute.
That's my
Absolute.
family. I got to be over there. So then they'll go join on with them.
Absolute.
But we have
Absolute.
other organizations that they don't call gangs that we click
Right.
up in, and they call them brotherhoods and biker clubs and
Absolute.
stepper clubs, right? Because
Absolute.
you had different tribes that held certain stuff that we do is sacred, and
Absolute.
it's
And
still in the blood. So we join on to the ones who feel that, and we feel it on the inside. And
absolute.
then when we see it on the outside, we wonder why they
Mhm.
doing that. Because that's how I feel.
Exactly. It's beautiful that you say that because I've been part. So I met Brother Rich back when he was like on the block doing this thing. Now, you know what I mean, transition. We in the technology world. Now he's on online with it. Now I met him and I met Brother Blue Pill and Red Pill in Harlem, New York. You know what I'm saying? So now when I moved down to Atlanta, I wound up coming across these brothers again. We wound up traveling up the Magic Mountain and actually doing that ancestor work that you actually talking about. So I definitely, I mean, understand when you say that.
Me and
And I
Blue
be telling people,
talked about that before he set that up.
for
He,
real,
he- yeah,
man,
we was on first. We was on Brother Rich, and then he called me after that because I was telling them that Stone Mountain was a was one of the mounds, the pyramid mounds.
probably one of the biggest quartz crystal in the world, right?
You go if you get close, you can feel it.
Absolutely, yeah. We did a lot of moon magic up there. I mean, coming in, I mean, so yeah, for certain. So
Mm-hmm.
I understand. I felt like that. I just really wanted the confirmation on it to see exactly that's what it is for certain. Another question. What is you ever coming down to the Atlanta area anytime soon?
Not sure. Brother Rich trying to get me to go to a function down there, but
Yeah,
I got to make sure that whatever I'm doing, my my services got to
absolutely,
be available for the Empress if she need me, and I don't want to
absolutely, absolutely.
set no dates on
Nope.
nothing because
Okay.
the work that she's doing is the most important work on the land right now.
No, for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
So
The
I want
yeah.
to
No.
agree to come somewhere. Then she tell me she need me somewhere, and I gotta cancel.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It'd be very powerful, man, to be able to, yeah, I mean, meet you in person. Yeah, I mean, just to have that good conversation. Yeah, I mean, tap in with the Chief Pony. Yeah, man. I appreciate everything you're doing, the knowledge. Yeah, I mean, and learning so much from you, man. I appreciate you to the most highest power. You continue to have an abundant day on purpose, King.